Humans are amazing these days, and some not so amazing. These are the kinds of people who get themselves into situations. Don't you end up like this woman? Why the fireman's carrying her toilet outside, and why is her arm attached to it? What? Because she had a bright idea to try and use her hands as a toilet plugger. This fireman clearly wished they were anywhere else. We mostly try to avoid driving in a store at all costs. Still, if you're going to go out, look where you're going, or you might just end up like this guy. No, I don't know how it happened.
Question is, what the hell?
And for the record, the car isn't floating. Even though that's definitely what it looks like, he just somehow managed to drive up a power line and get himself stuck. We all had a moment in our childhood where we've been terrified by the idea of quicksand being sucked into the ground. Like this scary thought when we grow up and we decide that quicksand is a myth, until we learn that it is not. This policeman learned it's a very real danger, and it can be hilarious to watch someone trying and escape from it. It's a good thing someone came along to help before he turned into a skeleton sticking out of the ground like the movies. Let's face it, it's people filming it would have never helped. Being so strong to hold this wrinkled man in the air for so long without even a hint that it might break, it's incredible how he get there. I have no idea. I decided it was probably best to not ask too many questions, but good luck getting back. This man is here to give you the perfect example of that possible reason could he have for trying to climb in the center of that clothesline. I bet he can answer that. He just did it, and now his girlfriend will picture him in that position for the rest of her life. This video brings up so many questions. I just thought I shouldn't warn you. It's one of those things you think about for days. This man is a thief, which is always a nice detail in stories like this, because justice was served in most unexpected ways. He got stuck on the air conditioner while trying to steal cables. How did he got there? I have no clue, but what I do know is that he was stuck up there for 60 hours, more than 2 days, on an air conditioner. They eventually saved him like this. How did it take them 2 days to come up with the obvious solution? I bet the cops left him there to teach him a lesson. This woman is so lucky, considering she somehow got herself stranded on the top of her own car in a flood. I don't know how that could happen unless she'd been doing something careless. Still, the universe decided to pardon her, and it let her escape her rapidly sinking car with her bag and then floated her gently downstream to wait rescuers who sacrificed a lot to help her out. Sure, the car couldn't have done too well, but could have been more worse. It's always a good idea to look where you're going when you're walking down the street. Her life. Don't you end up like this poor teenager? She was just walking into school when she got herself stuck in the grate. It was so far as a fireman were with saw and hydraulic spreaders to free her after she had been totally embarrassed just sitting there stuck in the road. There's a lesson to be learned here. Always step over the grate. Sometimes things look dumber than they actually are. This little girl is stuck in a claw machine. Sure, but it wasn't an accident. She was clever enough to work out how the machine functioned and decided to make matters into her own hands and made sure that she got the ball she wanted. by going in and getting it along with a few others since she was in there anyway. It was everyone around her that was worried. She knew what she was doing and was cool as a cucumber. If you're ever thinking that it's a good idea to try and have a kind of fun you had as a childhood, remember this and maybe just eat an ice cream cone instead. You expect to see teens in a weird or risky situations. You still have to wonder how on earth did this girl get stuck in a baby swing. Okay, it's not a surprise that she's stuck, but how did she get into it in the first place? Boy. And why did she think she won't get stuck? Hopefully, the exceptional high level of embarrassment she experienced while the firefighters tried to help will stop her doing any more stuff like this. And this, that children, is why we don't mess around with baby swings. You should never copy cartoons. Some people just don't get that. It seems problem is you need to know where that line is, or you will end up like this guy. Sure, cartoon characters get their tongue stuck into frozen poles all the time, but they aren't real. Money tongue won't stick. Yeah, right. Now look at these cartoons do sometimes base their jokes on reality. Dude, good luck getting home. The ocean is a wild, untamable beast. You have to work around it because it won't look out for you. So if you're thinking of parking your car out on the beach and just leaving it there for a reason, nobody will ever understand it. Would be a good idea to just check what time the tide is coming in. Otherwise, you'll end up like with a very wet car. When you are a thief, there's so many things that you can go wrong. And most criminals are too dumb to stop and think of all the possible disaster that await them. This guy, for example, probably never imagined he'd be hanged by his pants for the police to catch him. He thought he grabbed a lot of and ran home without incident. That never happens. Just remember this guy. Next time you start thinking that a life of crime might be a good idea, someone get themselves into sticky situations if they're doing something they shouldn't be. This guy wasn't trying to burgle this shop. Wasn't he? Don't know. Was the shop owner was so tired of being burgled that he'd set a trap on this guy, walked right into it. If he hadn't been breaking the laws, this won't have never happened to him. But justice is swift when you break into a bomb-trapped store and right. So I hope this happens to loads more unexpected criminals. Babies are incredible to get themselves into strange situations, and they can also fit into a lot of surprisingly small spaces that they can really get out of, like toilets, bowls. This kid probably can't even remember how she got there in the first place. She's too busy wondering if she's going to have it to live there for the rest of her life, waking up in the morning thinking about so many things. There you have it for today. Subscribe and peace out.